sort of endorse that unless you get it tested by the regulatory body and certified, you can't sell it. And here we wanted to go to the US and get the 510 and so on for FDA. So all the world's labs were actually sold out, and we were getting timelines of 4 months and 3 months before getting a result. So we decided to partner with Intertek, and Intertek has around 1,000 labs in 100 countries and is older than me. So they have a 130-year-old history. So, and a fantastic reputation. So we were lucky that we were able to collaborate, and we've set up Intertek's most advanced PPE lab in the world, which can do American, European, all types of standards for all levels. So now we have the labs, and then we said that the gowns can be isolation or they can be surgical, but when you go to a surgical gown, you need sterilization facilities. So we put up the sterilization facilities. So now what you have as a first phase is a vertical park in one location where you manufacture it, you sterilize it, you pack it, you quarantine it, you get your test report, which would take months in a week, and you're open to business worldwide. So it is quite a unique facility. And I would say that, you have bits and pieces in different countries. So one guy would be producing it, another guy would be sterilizing it. What's unique is that from sterilizing to testing to quarantine, the whole works is in one place. And there's lots of land and buildings that we can easily expand it. So that's a little bit of the background of this park. I would like to add that Ambassador Earl Miller gave us a lot of encouragement. Just his being here endorses his courage. Not too many people are venturing out of the house, so to be present here. And I must add, this is not the first time, because we dragged him to the airport when we were shipping the 6.5 million, and Brent is here. So, without their encouragement, we also got a lot of encouragement from Mr. Salman Rahman, the honorary advisor to the Prime Minister, and then, of course, the fantastic Beximco team, who were able to turn this around in such a short time. So, thank you very much. May Allah keep all of you, all your loved ones, happy, healthy, and successful. Ameen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable speech. Now, I will request Mr. Rocky, Vice President, Global Softline Intertek North America, to deliver his speech virtually. Mr. Rocky.
Thank you very much. I hope you can all hear me. Yeah? So, yes?
Yeah, you can continue.
Good, thank you very much. His Excellency, the Ambassador, distinguished guests from government and Beximco, it is truly a privilege for me to be attending this inauguration ceremony for the Beximco PPE Park and the Intertek PPE Center of Excellence. I'd like to start with a quote from our group CEO.
আমরা তখন ছিলাম বেক্সিমকোর পিপি ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল পার্কের উদ্বোধনী অনুষ্ঠানে, আর সময় হলো একটা বিরতি।
নিচ্ছে একটি বিরতি, ফিরছি কিছুক্ষণ পর, আমাদের সাথে থাকুন। বিরতির পর আবারও স্বাগত ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট সংবাদে।
আমরা বিরতির আগে যেখানে ছিলাম বেক্সিমকোর পিপি ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল পার্ক, যেখানে এই মুহূর্তে উদ্বোধনী অনুষ্ঠান চলছে এবং বেক্সিমকো হেলথ নামে নতুন ব্র্যান্ডের যাত্রা শুরু হতে যাচ্ছে, আবারও সেই অনুষ্ঠানে যাচ্ছে।
Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Salman F. Rahman, MP, His Excellency, Mr. All R. Miller, U.S. Ambassador to Bangladesh, CEO Becsimco Health, Mr. Navid, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. Actually, I'm very much impressed to see the facilities in Becsimco Health. I wanted to visit this area much before, but due to my personal commitment, I could not make it earlier. But nevertheless, I'm really grateful and express my thanks to Mr. Navid and Becsimco Health for inviting me in this occasion. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, you know that Bangladesh is doing very good in pharmaceutical sector. It's a vibrant sector. As of today, as you know that about 98% of our national requirement we can fulfill. That is our pharmaceutical sector. And only 2% medicines we import from outside. And we are exporting our product, medical product, medicines, more than 148 countries, not only in Asian, African countries, but also South American countries, including USA, Canada, and also Australia, and some of the European countries. So we are doing excellent in this field. And during this COVID-19 situation, you have seen that Bangladesh never faced any kind of medicine problem in our country. It was always abundant. And the price was also not been increased during this COVID-19 situation. Whenever any medicines were invented or in the market in outside Bangladesh, say in Europe or America, within very few days we could manufacture that medicine in our country. As for example, if I talk about your favipiravir, it is Avigan in Japan. When they manufacture it, we could know that it is being effective for your COVID-19 treatment. Immediately, some of our industries they started manufacturing this favipiravir. And regarding this remdesivir, as Mr. Navid has mentioned, when America could produce this remdesivir, immediately after that, and when US FDA gave them the emergency authorization, Bangladesh started producing that medicine, and within very short time we could bring this remdesivir in our country. And it was that remdesivir was utilized not only for Bangladesh but in the region also, and we exported this medicine even in Europe. So it was a great achievement for our part. So, ladies and gentlemen, when the COVID started back in March, say 2020, actually we knew very little about this disease. We knew that this is a viral disease, and we knew that it's a mode of transmission, it's a respiratory route it transmits, but also we know that it does not have any effective treatment. So how we can prevent this disease? There is no vaccine also. So how can we prevent the disease? We can prevent the disease only using the personal protective equipment. That is using mask, then using your hand sanitizer, social distancing, and of course the PPE. That is PPE gown and for the doctors and healthcare worker. And when we started in our country in March 2020, I can tell you, as a regulator, I knew only 3 mask manufacturers were there, and they produce only, say, 60,000 per day. Total 3 manufacturers. That was only surgical mask. There was no KN95, no N95 mask in our country at that time. And regarding PPE, initially there was none. Then the government sector, they actually started manufacturing this PPE. But they initially they face tremendous problem. Actually, they do not know what is the standard of this PP, what will be the standard for level 1, level 2, level 3, or level 4 PP, what are the test guidelines, where they can test it. So there is a state of confusion. And again, who will control them? Actually, who will regulate them? That was also a confusion for them and as well as for our regulator. Then actually we set together the regulators and the manufacturer, and we finalized some standard guideline for this PP. So these are the criteria for level 1, level 2, level 3 and level 4 PP. These are the test requirement for this PP and also mask. And of course with maintaining the standard, world standard, WHO standard and PAHO standard. Accordingly, we selected some of the accredited laboratory in our country. Actually, in the garments sector, there are accredited, ISO accredited laboratory. There are initially 7, and we could found another one. That is total 8 accredited laboratory were there. We enlisted them, and we gave in our website it was uploaded, and with the cost of each testing. So the criteria was given, the test criteria was given, and the prices of cost of the test was given. The location of the laboratories was given, and it was been enlisted by our regulatory authority, and things become very easy. And another thing, we sat together with the manufacturer, garment sector, and we decided that the DGDA, that is Drug Administration, will be the regulator of this sector. And we started giving NOC with some permission from our Ministry of Health. And we will be very happy that as of today, 51 garments manufacturer, they are manufacturing this PP, and 28 manufacturer, they are manufacturing this mask under our NOC. So it's a great achievement for this sector. And when we started, we will be happy to know that only 6 manufacturers, they could manufacture this your hand sanitizer. Now more than 70 they can produce this manufacturer, and under NOC another 20. So altogether they are doing a very great job. But during this period, which problem was very, very evident to us, that the testing facility for the PP and mask, it was not available in our country, especially all the tests. We could do only say level 1 and level 2 PP test, and some of the tests for mask. So here, today I have seen that Intertech is working here. They have established a laboratory. Of course, we will visit the laboratory, and what the discussions we took place, that it will be a very fantastic one. And I hope that all the test requirement for your PP and mask, this laboratory will be able to do it. So, great thing is done by our Beximco Health and all the manufacturer garment sectors. Here I congratulate our Honorable Advisor to Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Salman F. Rahman, because he is a really visionary person. I think the reality, what we are seeing here, it is his dream, in fact, that has come into reality today. But as a regulator, I want to give some input or dream to my Honorable Advisor. That is now it's a Beximco Health. They are manufacturing PP and mask, but it will be expanded, and transformation should be there. And I hope that after a few years, it will be converted into a medical device industry, and afterwards the medical equipment industries. That is, this park will be able to manufacture your heart stent, at least heart stent for our patients, for Bangladesh and for international consumers. That is my dream, and I hope that Honorable Advisor will not mind that it's a dream of drug regulator of Bangladesh I'm giving to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to see the facilities of this manufacturing, PP manufacturing here. I hope that together, and another thing I forgot to mention, that this COVID-19 situation, actually it's a global problem, and all the people of different countries, they are helping this situation differently. So some country they are manufacturing, some country they are inventing your vaccines, some country they are manufacturing it, some country they are manufacturing medicines, and from Bangladesh side we are manufacturing medicines as well as your world-class PPE, that is personal protective equipment. So together, actually, we are working and complementary to each other for this support to fight this COVID-19 situation. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, again, I thank you very much for inviting me to this occasion, and my special thanks to our His Excellency, Mr. Arthur Miller. His presence certainly made this occasion a great. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Major General Mahbub sir, for your valuable speech. Now, I like to request His Excellency Arthur Miller, Ambassador of the United States of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, to deliver his speech.
Assalamu alaikum, and good morning and good evening. Honorable Advisor to the Prime Minister Rahman, CEO Hussein, Executive Director Shastri, distinguished guests, thank you for the kind invitation to be here today. Let us remember and honor all those we have lost to the COVID-19 pandemic. We wish all those who have fallen ill well, and we send our best thoughts and wishes to their families and loved ones. Because the one thing, as you've heard this morning, that this pandemic has taught us anew is how truly interdependent this vulnerable world that we're so privileged to share and so responsible to protect. It's something that we have to work together on to prevail through these global challenges. Warm congratulations to Beximco and its new health division for developing this beautiful facility to produce personal protective equipment for the global market. For Bangladesh, this is a triumph of economic diversification beyond the ready-made garment industry. This state-of-the-art facility demonstrates Bangladesh's enterprises can meet the exacting standards of products in the healthcare industry around the world, and Bangladeshi workers can produce any product the global market demands. And for the world, the new Beximco facility marks an important step in the diversification of the global supply chain, especially for healthcare equipment. The world learned an important lesson, as you've heard, at the start of the global COVID-19 pandemic, when the normal free movement of essential goods such as protective masks and gowns for healthcare workers was choked off as some countries diverted production to internal use only. And that provided the need, of course, for alternatives in the supply chain and highlighted the risk of over-dependence on single sources. And Beximco instantly saw the dangers of this dependence and invested to meet the challenge. And it's not the first time Beximco has risen to the challenge posed by a disrupted supply chain. Last year, at the height of the first wave of the pandemic, Beximco pivoted from producing garments to protective equipment. And we were astonished at the U.S. Embassy by how quickly, how nimble Beximco moved production lines to begin to master the specialized fabrication techniques, set up those lines, and produce 6.5 million gowns for distribution in the United States through the Federal Emergency Management Administration. So thank you again for responding to the needs of the American people, and once again demonstrating the strong partnership between our two great nations. Producing protective equipment for the healthcare industry will add to the robust and growing trade relationship between the United States and Bangladesh. Bangladesh annually ships $6.7 billion in goods to America, nearly double the value of a decade ago. Much of this is in the form of garments, but I'm happy to see exports diversifying thanks to nimble, forward-looking ventures like Beximco's health initiative. The United States annually exports $2.3 billion worth of goods to Bangladesh, ranging from airplanes to grains. Our exports have grown more than fourfold in the past decade. We share a common perspective on the value of trade and free enterprise in a nation's progress. And let me take this opportunity to congratulate Bangladesh on your 50th anniversary of independence. As you know, the United States has been a strong partner throughout that remarkable 5-decade journey, and we look forward to applauding and commemorating and celebrating this milestone with you this year. But this wonderful new production facility is a reflection of the values that we share in a creative step on Bangladesh's remarkable economic and development journey that, of course, continues. In September, we held the first ever high-level consultations on U.S.-Bangladesh economic partnership, chaired by the Honorable Prime Minister's advisor, Rahman. We discussed moving forward on reforms and initiatives to further our growing economic relationship and attract world-leading American investment in Bangladesh's manufacturing, energy, health, agriculture, and infrastructure sectors. And Beximco is doing the same as it invests in producing goods for the United States. I'm looking forward to hearing more about possible investments in my hometown of Detroit, and Dallas, and Seattle, and New York, and so on. And we look forward to not only discussing these issues, but turning them into action plans and working to promote a level playing field where the best U.S. products and services continue to contribute to Bangladesh's impressive economic journey while joining in partnership to benefit us all. The one thing I'm learning again this morning is that business growth depends on constant innovation, right? I mean, the innovation is seeing opportunity where others don't, and sometimes taking a rather uncomfortable risk to explore new endeavors. And innovation is, as you're hearing, vertically integrating all stages of production to avoid dependence on others. And it means having the courage to envision and make a big entry into a market rather than taking timid baby steps. And so I congratulate you on your courage and your boldness and your forward-leaning activities in that regard. And all those are on full display today as we proudly inaugurate Beximco's Health's new production campus. So warmest congratulations on this new venture. I wish you every success in going forward. Onak onak donavad, and thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency, for his valuable speech. Now, I like to request His Excellency Salman F. Rahman, MP, Honorable Minister and Advisor to the Honorable Prime Minister for Private Industry and Investment, to deliver his speech virtually.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. His Excellency Ambassador Miller, the General Mahbub, my colleagues in Beximco, Assalamu alaikum, and a very, very good morning to you. I would really like to thank the representatives from Intertech, both in Florida and New York, for really being, I can realize that it's absolutely middle of the night for you guys, and the fact that you have joined us at this time, I really would like to thank you for this. I am really pleased actually today. This is something which Beximco has been thinking for a long time. And when we first went into PPE production, we ran into this problem of testing. And I had asked Naved that why can't we set up testing facilities? Who are the companies who are available locally for testing? And he said, well, there are 2 or 3 international companies who do the testing, but none of them can actually do the full testing that is required, and that we have to send these out to either Hong Kong or China or the UK or the US. Lead times are very high, it's expensive, and unless you get this testing, you can't register your products, and it's very, very difficult. So then I had asked Naved that please see why can't we then set up these kind of facilities. And I must thank Intertech that they came forward and they agreed to collaborate with us. And we said that, and so then today the fact that this facility is being inaugurated, it's a really very, very happy occasion for us, because I think as the DGDA General Mahbub was saying, that all the tests are going to be able to be done in Bangladesh. He was asking this question, and what happened was that what the local Intertech rep clarified, that all the tests required for level 4, 5, as well as for the N95 masks, that will now be able to be done locally. This will really help not only Beximco, but I think the entire business community, the entire manufacturing, PPE manufacturing industry in Bangladesh. Like the General Mahbub had been telling us, that he has already given authorization to a number of companies, over 50, to produce PPE. Now, most of them are selling locally. But once this facility of testing is available and all the companies can now get their products tested, I think this will become a big new export item for Bangladesh. And I would again like to thank Intertech for their collaboration in this, for setting up this world-class center of excellence. I'd like to now mention some of the initiatives which Bangladesh as a country has taken to face this pandemic. Our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was very, very proactive from day one, and and took a number of steps, not only for protecting our people, but for helping the industry. And as a result of this, we are one of the very few countries in the world who have actually had a 5.5% GDP growth during this period. While most countries had negative growth rates, Bangladesh has shown a 5.5% growth rate. And also the Bangladesh pharmaceutical industry, and Beximco in particular, as you heard, that we went in for production of not only Remdesivir, we went in for Ivermectin and a lot of other products. Initially, when they thought about that chloroquine was a cure, the local industry went in for production of that. So the pharmaceutical industry has played a very, very vital role for protecting its people. And then Remdesivir we have now exported to over 20 countries globally. So not only for the people of Bangladesh, but for globally, the local pharmaceutical industry has played a big role. And I'd like to congratulate the pharmaceutical industry. And here I would also like to congratulate the General Mahbub, the DGDA, for the support which he has been providing to the pharmaceutical industry, and which is very, very important, because unless the reason, one of the reasons for the success of the Bangladesh pharmaceutical industry is the fact that everybody recognizes that our quality is of international standards, and the fact that it is of international standards, this is ensured by the regulatory authority. So the regulatory authority has a very, very important role to play. So just like pharmaceuticals, I think now with this new laboratory, I think the DGDA has got a new facility to ensure his regulatory responsibilities, and so that he can really now take care of this in a much more efficient manner, since we have these testing facilities within Bangladesh. The other thing which I'd like to say, where due to Honorable Prime Minister's initiative, and also where Beximco is involved, is in the vaccination drive. You know, Naved was mentioning that we saw that in the United States, especially after the new, after President Biden has taken over, there has been a major improvement in daily vaccination, and you are doing more than 1.2 million doses a day. And that Naved was saying that soon America will be back on, the economy will be back. People will be going to restaurants, and offices will reopen, factories will reopen over there. Similarly, I think while America is making fantastic strides in vaccination, so is Bangladesh. And as I was saying, that because of Honorable Prime Minister's timely initiative, as well as Beximco's involvement, we have now also got, I think, in the region, we have the highest number of vaccines in stock. The vaccination was rolled out yesterday. We did over 100,000 doses, and we feel that within a very short time, this is really now going up at a very fast speed. In a very short time, the first dose will be given to a majority of the Bangladeshi people. We have taken a decision to vaccinate all the teachers, the school teachers, the college teachers, so that we can reopen our schools very, very quickly. And so this process is going on. So I am very, very confident that Bangladesh also will, although we have been reopening partially and been working, but soon we will be also in full, we'll be reopened completely because of the vaccination. And then, and if America also happens, I think then the relationship, the trade relationship, the economic relationship between our two countries will continue. I'd like to thank again Ambassador Miller for taking the time out today and coming out for this function today. Like Naved said, that he dragged him out before, also to the airport when we were exporting the first lot of PPEs to Hanes. He's been a real supporter of Bangladesh, and I'd really like to thank him, and not only Ambassador Miller, but his entire team in the embassy. They have worked tirelessly through this very, very challenging times. And so again, with these words, I'd like to end. I'd like to thank the ambassador, his team, the Intertech, all of them. And I wish now that all of you would remain safe and healthy during these challenging times, and that soon, because of the vaccination globally, the way it is moving, we will soon be able to return, the whole world will soon be able to return to normalcy. This is what we hope and pray. So all of you stay safe and well. Thank you very much. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu.
Now, we will inaugurate Beximco PP Industrial Park by cutting ribbon. Our chief guest of today's program, we'll request him to come in front of the ribbon point so that we can inaugurate.
কিছুক্ষণ আগে আমরা শুনলাম প্রধানমন্ত্রী বেসরকারি শিল্প বিনিয়োগ উপদেষ্টা সালমান এফ রহমানের বক্তব্য। তিনি বললেন যে বেক্সিমকোর ইপিপি পার্কটি প্রতিষ্ঠার মধ্য দিয়ে বাংলাদেশ এবং মার্কিন যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের সম্পর্ক আরও এক ধাপে এগিয়ে গেল এবং এর মধ্য দিয়ে দুদেশের বাণিজ্য মধ্য দিয়ে আর অনেক উন্নতি হবে। আমরা এখন দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে এই পার্কটির পিপি পার্কটির উদ্বোধন হতে যাচ্ছে এবং এখানে মার্কিন যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের রাষ্ট্রদূত আর মিলার তিনি এটি ফিতা কেটে এটির উদ্বোধন করছেন এবং তার সঙ্গে রয়েছেন বেক্সিমকো গ্রুপ পরিচালক এবং সিইও সৈয়দ নাবিদ হুসাইন। তারা এখন উদ্বোধন
আপনি ব্যাকপ্যাকটা ফুল ফ্রেমে রেখে ব্যাকপ্যাকটা কাঁধে নেন। দরজাগুলো পুরোটাই না, অল্প একটু খোলা রাখো দরজা। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, কেবলটা আর একটু ছোট কর। হ্যাঁ ধরেন, বেলুনটা ধরেন। ব্যাস 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 ব্যাস, আস্তে আস্তে ফেরত আসেন, আস্তে আস্তে ফেরত আসেন, আস্তে আস্তে ফেরত আসেন। ওয়েট ওয়েট ওয়েট, আমার হ্যাঁ তোমাদের জিনিসগুলো করতে। ফারুক, এইটা নিতে, বুমটা নিতে হবে, কেবলটা নিতে হবে, লেপেলটা নিতে হবে, এইটা নিতে হবে। হ্যাঁ, এটা প্রোটিন দিতে হবে। কই এরপর হাতে রাখো, এইটা না, ওটা না, এইটা না।
পার্কের উদ্বোধনী অনুষ্ঠান যেটি সকাল থেকে শুরু হয়েছিল, এইমাত্র সেই উদ্বোধন করা হলো। বেলুনুড়ি উদ্বোধন করলেন বাংলাদেশে নিযুক্ত মার্কিন যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের রাষ্ট্রদূত আর মিলার। সেখানে ছিলেন ওষুধ প্রশাসনের মহাপরিচালক এবং সেখানে বেক্সিমকো টেক্সটাইলের সিইও সৈয়দ নাবিদ হোসেন, তিনিও ছিলেন। সেই অনুষ্ঠানে ছিলাম এতক্ষণ আমরা এবং সর্বশেষ যেটি সেখান থেকে আমরা জানতে পারলাম এবং আমরা দেখলাম, বেক্সিমকো হেলথ নামে নতুন ব্র্যান্ডের যাত্রা শুরু হলো আজ। একই সাথে বেক্সিমকো পার্সোনাল প্রোটেক্টিভ ইকুইপমেন্ট পার্কের যাত্রা শুরু হলো, যেটি দক্ষিণ এশিয়ায় এই প্রথম পিপির পূর্ণাঙ্গ একটি পার্ক, যেখানে একেবারে সব ধরনের কাঁচামাল থেকে শুরু করে সব ধরনের পণ্য উৎপাদনের পরে পরিপূর্ণ পার্সোনাল প্রোটেক্টিভ ইকুইপমেন্ট, যেটি সেখানে ফেস শিল্ড, সেখানে মাস্ক, গাউন সব কিছু উৎপাদন করা হচ্ছে এবং আর বেশিরভাগই বিদেশে রপ্তানি করা হবে। দেশীয় বাজারেও কিছু অংশ ছাড়া হবে বলে জানিয়েছেন পিপিই ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল পার্কের কর্মকর্তারা। আমরা একটু অন্য খবরে যাব এবার। প্রকাশক ফয়সাল আরেফিন দীপন হত্যা মামলার রায় আজ। এজলাসে তোলা হয়েছে 6 আসামিকে। এর আগে সকালে আদালতে নেওয়া হয় তাদেরকে। 6 বছর আগে 2015 সালের 31 অক্টোবর রাজধানীর শাহবাগে আজিজ সুপার মার্কেটে কুপিয়ে হত্যা করা হয় জাগৃতি প্রকাশনীর স্বত্বাধিকারী দীপনকে। ঘটনার 3 বছর পর 2018 সালের 15 নভেম্বর ঢাকার মুখ্য মহানগর হাকিম আদালতে 8 জনের বিরুদ্ধে অভিযোগপত্র দেন মামলার তদন্ত কর্মকর্তা গোয়েন্দা পুলিশের সহকারী কমিশনার ফজলুর রহমান। সাক্ষী করা হয় 26 জনকে। 1 বছর পর 2019 সালের অক্টোবরে অভিযোগ গঠন করা হয়। মামলায় 8 আসামির মধ্যে 2 জন পলাতক, আর তারা সবাই আনসার আল ইসলামের সদস্য বলে জানিয়েছে পুলিশ। মামলার 26 সাক্ষীর মধ্যে 23 জনের সাক্ষ্য নেওয়া হয়েছে। সংবাদে একটা বিরতির সময় হলো, আর বিরতি থেকে ফিরে এসে আরো যা থাকবে। অস্বাস্থ্যকর পরিবেশে চলছে বেকারি পণ্য তৈরির কাজ, রয়েছে ক্ষতিকর রাসায়নিক ব্যবহারের অভিযোগ।
কমফি কমফোর্টের একটু উষ্ণতা।
রাকিব, গোসল গরম পানি দিয়ে নয় তো।
ব্যাস মামা, গোসলও ডেটল দিয়ে, নয়তো
যে ঘরে আছে ডেটলের ব্যবহার ওই ঘরেরও কম হয়। শীতেও প্রতিদিন ডেটল, যা দেয় সর্দি কাশির মতো 100 রোগবাহী জীবাণু থেকে সুরক্ষা। শীতেও আমার ভরসা শুধুই ডেটল সুরক্ষা।
এখন প্রমাণিত, ডেটল করোনা ভাইরাস প্রতিরোধেও কার্যকর।
হারিয়ে ফেলি যদি এই ভয়ে, আরো বেশি করে ভালোবাসি, আরো বেশি।